Hi everyone, कैसे हैं आप? This is Richa with another episode of Leaders Lounge at GLA University Greater Noida, wherein we make learning integrated and interactive. आज हमारे साथ है स्मृति बड्ड्योरा. She is an inspiring TEDx speaker and a member of Forbes Human Resource Council 2025. She has worked with Microsoft in the US and currently she's a co-founder and COO of India's one of the biggest employee engagement platform, AdvantageClub.ai. From a budding employee to an entrepreneur, let's get to know a bit more about Smriti in this episode of Leaders Lounge. Hi Smriti.
Hi.
Welcome to Leaders Lounge at GLA Greater Noida.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you very much for accepting the invite and आपसे बात करने को ना बहुत टाइम से मेरा मन था. जब आपने इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट किया था लीडर्स लाउंज का, फ्रॉम दैट डे थोड़ा सा होमवर्क किया अबाउट योर प्रोफाइल एंड व्हाट यू डू. देयरइन आई केम अक्रॉस वन ऑफ द वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो एंड दैट वाज इन यूट्यूब. आपने कोई TEDx में टॉक दिया था. इट वाज अबाउट द पावर ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन. सो वट एवर यू स्पोक अबाउट द पावर ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन और जिस तरीके से आपने उसे अपनी रियल लाइफ से रिलेट किया, हाउ इट हैज़ प्रूवन फॉर यू, it was so amazing and inspiring that I was wishing I want to meet this lady. And thank you very much for coming here.
No, thank you for the kind words. And manifestation is something I truly, truly believe in. So when TEDx invited me, they wanted a topic. I said, I think this should be the apt topic for me because I've manifested everything my whole life. And manifestation comes with a lot of hard work to make things happen. And that's why I felt that it was a good topic to talk about, to remove the myth that you just think about something, you put posters and it happens.
Yes.
That is not how manifestation
Yes,
happens,
yes.
which is why I did that topic.
Right. And आपने उसमें emphasize specifically किया है, end result manifest करना is the second thing. It is the journey that is required to achieve
Correct.
what you want.
Correct.
Very nice. तो हम लोग start करते हैं with the work that you do. What is Advantage Club all about and who does it serve? What difference is it making in the workspace, especially in the global workspace, I would say?
Yeah. So
see.
AdvantageClub.ai is a global employee experience platform. We enable organizations to drive engagement programs like rewards, recognition, incentive management, performance bonuses, moments that matter. Basically, from the starting of an employee's corporate journey to their exit in an organization, it is comprised of various moments. Moments where you can appreciate an employee, you can recognize them for the hard work that you do, that they do. And this really helps in driving better company culture, more belongingness, removing attrition or reducing attrition. And that's what our digital platform does. Beyond rewards and recognition, we also do things like community building. We have various resource groups which organizations can use. We also do things like surveys, mood meter, sentiment analysis, and we have a well-being program as well, which is very holistic to help organizations drive healthier workplaces, starting from whether it is OPD, AHC, or fitness management in terms of flexibility of benefits, to even things like running walkathons or step challenges or bringing healthy habit formation in the organization. So you can think of it as a full employee experience suite, right from well-being to appreciation to community building.
Wonderful. And I think it is serving the society in one way because attrition is a major concern.
Correct.
Being happy in your existing organization, all those problems are getting solved.
Right.
Is a big cause to the society also.
Correct. So our objective is to make workplaces happier and healthier.
Yeah.
That has been our core objective from day one.
Right.
And the more smiles we can bring to employee faces and organizations, the more successful we feel we've become
So
over time.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. So अब जैसे आपने जब entrepreneurship की तरफ सोचा होगा that I want to do something of my own, and then I want to understand what was the seed behind starting off the Advantage Club? It could be any other business also. Why specifically Advantage Club? What is the
Right.
story behind it?
So it's funny because this was not the first venture we started. So me and my co-founder Saurav, we met at UCLA when we were doing our masters.
Okay.
And one of the things which I think drove us together was the fact that we wanted to do something in life and build something of our own. So that entrepreneurship ka keeda was always there. And UCLA helped because I think they had this program where even in projects you couldn't do a project which was existent in the world. So आपको हर project में कुछ नया बनाना होता था जो इस दुनिया में exist नहीं करता. So we did a lot of short projects like that together. Like I remember we built kind of sort of Spotify for Facebook before Spotify integrated with Facebook. ऐसे हमने बहुत सारे cool अपने friend recommendation systems बनाए, बहुत interesting चीज़ें बनाई थी साथ में. And there was a common funny joke that Saurav and I are not doing projects together because we are in a relationship. We got in a relationship because we were doing projects together. So हमारी relationship शुरू से काम वाली थी, हम काम साथ करते थे. So that was one common thing between us, and we always wanted to start something. So very early we decided that let's try to identify what we can do. And we used to maintain a spreadsheet of ideas. And every time we think, okay, this is a cool thing, it doesn't exist in the world, let's write it down. Advantage Club was I think the 109th idea or something. मेरे को याद भी नहीं है, बहुत पुरानी बात है. Back then, me and Saurabh both were working with Microsoft. Microsoft was very, very culture oriented, recognition oriented. And we realized that was because Microsoft was very, very oriented around the concept of Microsoft Cares. So they had that banner, Microsoft Cares, under which they used to run a lot of programs for employee engagement. And they used to position it in a way that you're getting this because we care for you. And we realized that these programs which Microsoft used to run in the US were not there in Southeast Asia, were not there in India. We had friends coming in from India and they were blown away by these programs. So we thought, why does Microsoft not have these benefit programs in India or in Southeast Asia or in other parts of the world? And we realized it was because Microsoft has third-party partnerships in the US who help them do these digital programs. But in Southeast Asia, it's an open market. There's nobody doing digitization of benefits in the right manner. So we saw that as an open space. And since we were users of the benefits ourselves, we were more passionate about this. And that was the inception of Advantage Club. We initially started off as a employee benefit perks discounting kind of a program where we thought we'll collate all the wonderful benefits which brands give to employees, all the employee discounts and all of those in one place. And we started off the idea with that back. I think we launched in 2016. We started building this in 2015-ish. And back then we started with the employee benefits program. Slowly and consecutively, the platform started getting enhanced into a full-fledged employee experience platform. So what started happening is our core principle, one of our core principles as a company was, if it's not useful to the end customer, do not build it. So we would talk to the customers, identify the requirement first, and then build anything. We've never built anything and then sold it later. Once or twice we've tried it, it has failed horribly. So we realized that you should only build things which customers want. So back then, even in our discounting platform, we had a small wallet where people could load some rewards or maybe there were some cashbacks which would keep coming. And companies started loading their recognition points and everything in that wallet. And that is where our journey of creating a recognition program began. Layer after layer, we kept on building things on the platform basis what the clients wanted. And eventually we ended up building the most exhaustive experience platform in the country. In fact, on the planet, globally also, when I look at it, nobody has as many modules as we do.
It's a
It has
phenomenal
happened.
journey. Matlab, agar as a layman and as just a listener, when I am listening to your experience, it is phenomenal, wonderful, and 10 years of progress. And we spoke about that 100 plus companies, 109 to be specific.
Countries, yeah.
है ना? The 109 countries में 10 years में scale करना ये बहुत सिंपल बात नहीं है, बहुत बड़ी बात है इनफैक्ट. ऑल्सो लाइक आप यूएस में थे व्हेन यू थॉट ऑफ इवन स्टार्टिंग दिस, यू स्पेशली केम टू गुड़गांव टू सेट अप योर बिजनेस. Why did you choose Indian market? Is it because of the roots were Indian, or there was any other reason behind?
So it was a mix of both. We saw at that point a clear market gap in Southeast Asia. When we started a benefits portal, our intent was that Microsoft India, Southeast Asia doesn't have this what the US has. So that was one major reason. Second, it was from a, I think, governance perspective also. It's easy to start in your home country.
Yeah.
The startup ecosystem was booming in India at that point of time.
Yes.
2015 is when the Flipkarts of the world also started becoming well known. The whole technology ecosystem was just rising, and it was
Yeah.
very evident that India is going to boom in terms
Yes.
of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So a lot of factors were there, but
Yeah.
primary reasoning was that we saw this as a better market to start with.
Yeah.
And we thought US is already a very crowded market.
Hmm.
Eventually, we realized that US is still very underserved and we can still win in the US market. But we did not at that point want to be a Me Too product in the US. We wanted to be unique, have a first mover's advantage, and build something really meaningful for the users where it would matter the most. And of course, luckily, the startup ecosystem booming with the government supporting and so much of funding coming in the country, it worked out in our favor eventually.
Yeah. That's right, absolutely. अब आज देखें तो actually it's a startup wave and it's going on since a lot of years now. इसमें हम देखते हैं कि बहुत से students and young professionals also now they are switching towards the startup mode. If I talk about GLA, in GLA also we have an incubation cell wherein around 35 business ideas are nurturing
Very nice.
by the students along with the mentorship of the right people and industry experts. यहाँ पे बहुत से बच्चे ना थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज्ड होते हैं. ओके, आई हैव बिल्ड अ प्रोडक्ट, व्हाट टू डू नेक्स्ट. उनको पास बिजनेस एक्यूमेन नहीं होता.
Correct.
If we can just talk about bit more about those people who are building up their startups currently,
Correct.
what should they be considering while getting into the market, or any other advice that you could give to them?
Right. So the first question I would ask them is, why do you want to start up, right? So it's very important to identify the reason why. If your reason to start up is startups बहुत cool हैं, सब कर रहे हैं, तो मैं भी कर लेता हूँ, मैं कर लेती हूँ, don't start up. If your reason is, I don't want a boss, I want to be my own boss, don't start. Everybody is gonna be a boss when you start up. मैंने शुरू के स्टार्टअप के दिनों में लोगों के जूठे पिज्जा बॉक्सेस उठा के डस्टबिन में फेंके, ट्रैश बाहर निकाला है. Even somebody who is a peon in your office is also kind of sort of somebody you have to keep happy.
Yes.
because वो चले जाएगा तो फिर तुम्हारा ऑफिस कौन संभालेगा. So those are all the wrong reasons to start. Few of the right reasons to start is one, if you want a very large impact, if you want to make an impact in the world and you feel that you would be able to make that impact, then that is a good reason to start. Second good reason to start, and against popular opinion, is money. If you want to make disproportionate amount of money in your life, you have to do something disproportionate and something very different than what the world is doing. But it's like a gamble. You go all in, you could lose it all, you could win it all, right? So for a lot of people, money is a motivator to start, but it's a long game. Third reason could be maybe you want to become well known in the world. So again, links with impact.
Yeah.
But these could be few reasons which are right to start, because those are motivations which stay with you forever. Then it's all about how. So the how, and one of the things which we didn't do back then, because us time pe the startup ecosystem was just booming and there weren't a lot of accelerators and incubators in India at that point of time. I regret that. If we had that opportunity, we put in 30 lakhs of our own money to start with. I would have never done that. I would have found an accelerator or an incubator who would help me give that initial help, initial place to work at. It also builds a community of people around you who are also struggling similar to you. It helps motivate you, helps you learn from them. So incubators are a great way to, I think, start off something. It is also low risk in nature because we put in 30 lakhs. If nothing would have happened, we would have completely lost that money. But with an incubator, I can feel safe that, okay, I'm not putting in a lot of my money, and there's no financial risk involved, or very little financial risk involved. Plus, you get a lot of mentorship. You get people who help you, who make you understand how to do things. We have to learn everything on our own. So incubators is a great way to start, and I would recommend students to participate in the incubator program if entrepreneurship is something they're seriously looking at.
राइट ऑसम। और अभी भी जैसे अगर मैंने आपको बताया अराउंड 35 बिजनेस आइडियाज़, ये मेरी पर्सनल आस्क खुद से होती थी कि मेजॉरिटी मतलब 99% स्टूडेंट्स ना वो बीटेक के स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड कर रहे हैं। मैनेजमेंट का स्टूडेंट क्यों नहीं आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स सोच के अपनी टीम बना रहे हैं, लेट्स डू समथिंग। तो अब बीटेक के साथ में क्या था, प्रोडक्ट मेकिंग बहुत अच्छी है लेकिन बेचना नहीं आता है। हाँ, तो कुछ थॉट्स उसके ऊपर कि कैसे ये कोलैबोरेट करें, क्या स्किल डेवलप करें कि दे कुड बी सक्सेसफुल।
हाँ, नो आई थिंक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होता है टू आइडेंटिफाई योर pros and cons, to identify what things you are good at the same time identify what things you're not good at, and then find somebody else who complements those things which you're not good at. तो वहीं वो co-founder वाला concept आता है। तो co-founder ढूंढने में एक important चीज़ होती है that you need to have complementary skills. If you don't know technology, then have somebody who's very good at technology. If you don't know how to sell, then get somebody who's very good at selling. आप दोनों कुछ सेम ही चीज़ आती है, then there's no point, right? I mean, you both are struggling equally at something which both of you don't know. So that becomes one important factor. Second, while finding a co-founder, it's also important to find people you trust, because it's, like I said, it's a very hard journey. And when it's a very hard journey, it's very hard to walk paths together, because say one guy gets demotivated, they pull the other person down with them. Small spats, ego fights, ये सब बहुत common है, and then very early you might just let go of something which could have been beautiful in the future. So the first is to find complementary skills, and second is to find somebody you trust and you feel you'd be able to work with them in the harshest of situations. So if you have a friend you've dealt with in very difficult situations, then yes, maybe you could navigate it with them. But if it's a random person you don't know, then at least try to work together on projects, figure out difficult situations, identify how you navigate maybe fights among yourselves, how do you navigate those difference in opinions among yourself, and then decide to start up together. For a lot of people it works out, for a lot of people it doesn't. So these two things are very important.
Yeah, I think students would be really benefited by the thoughts that you have shared here. और अब जैसे कि स्टार्टअप की बात है, 10 years से आप ये कर रहे हो, ओवरऑल 16 years से यू आर वर्किंग। किसी भी प्रोग्रेस में ना एक माइंडसेट का और एक राइट हैबिट्स का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल रहता है। आई एम श्योर आपकी भी लाइफ में वो राइट माइंडसेट एंड गुड हैबिट्स रही हैं और अभी भी चल रही होंगी। प्लीज टॉक अबाउट दोज एज वेल।
लाइफ में बहुत चॉइसेस थी। आई थिंक UCLA humbled me down a bit. When I went to UCLA, I realized that I was among a lot of very smart people who were way smarter than me, and it put me out of my bubble. That कुएं का मेंढक बन गई थी मैं। तो it pulled me out and showed me the real world, that there are people way more talented than you and way more smart than you in the world, and you're not everything. So second, I think humbling experience for me was when I joined Microsoft, because again there was such smart people there. I was a nobody there. Like, I knew nothing compared to what these people knew, and they were industry experts, and the smartest of the smartest people in the world were there. So that humbled me even more, I guess, in my life. And when I started the venture, that has been the most humbling experience ever, because life beats at you so much that eventually you start realizing that you don't know anything. Everything is a learning experience, and you learn slowly and consecutively in life. So it has been really a very humbling experience, and it comes from those kind of experiences that I have been able to reach where I've reached. And that involved a lot of disciplining myself. It involved a lot of me making taking things more seriously. Like I remember when I was a fresher at Microsoft, I was like this carefree person. ठीक है, half day ले लिया, mail नहीं किया, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? And then my manager back then, she was a Chinese, and we used to have one-on-ones with her. And Microsoft had this concept, which I still follow. I used to follow in Advantage Club in the initial years as well. That every week we will have a one-on-one with the manager, and we will talk about everything other than work. So we'll not talk about work. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about how you feel about work coming here. We'll talk about anything, personal relationships, but we'll not talk about work. So during one of those conversations, she told me that, I think you're young, but I just want to point this out to you that you shouldn't be so casual in the workplace. And she said the reason being that, and she said you're doing very good at your job. There's no complaints on your job. But there are a few things where, there are certain obligations you have to do to the company. कुछ processes follow करने होते हैं, वो आप पूरी तरह follow नहीं करते क्योंकि you're just this happy-go-lucky person. She said, but the reason we should be more serious in our jobs is because we're getting paid for it. And I was like, nobody's put it that way in front of me before, that you are getting paid for what you're doing. You are getting food at your table through this company where you're working. So you should take their processes a lot more seriously. So that was my one very big learning early on, that एज अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट आपको ये सब चीज़ें सीरियस नहीं लगती हैं, कोई बात नहीं, बंक मार लिया, क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है. बट व्हेन यूर इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इट डजंट वर्क दैट वे. यू हैव टू बी मोर प्रोफेशनल. You have to, because when you're not there, you not being there impacts the ROI, impacts the outcome, impacts whatever you're doing, unless you don't matter in the system. If you matter in the system, then you have to be more serious about the things that you're doing. Similarly, discipline-wise, working, and I don't say that for everyone in the workplace, but being an entrepreneur requires you to work longer hours, requires you to manage your time better. So all of these learnings have come over time, where what I was versus what I am today is a very, very different person.
बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स हैं, लाइक व्हेन यू आर शेयरिंग अबाउट इट, सीरियसली वैल्यूएबल लेसन्स. लाइक किसी ने ऐसी इंसाइट नहीं दी कि यू आर पेड फॉर, तो इसको हमको सीरियस लेना है, सिंसियरिटी से
करना है. Because you're getting money for it.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
So you're getting money for it. You're not doing it for charity.
Yes.
So you have to take it seriously. And
Yes.
it's very easy to bash your company. It's very easy to say कि अरे उसने मुझे ये बोल दिया. I'm a corporate मजदूर or whatever. But reality तो ये है ना कि you are going to work and it's putting food at your table. So the least you can do is follow their policies.
Right.
And when you're not there, it impacts. So it's okay if you're not there, then at least try to find ways in which it would lessen the impact of you not being there in future.
Absolutely. तो कौन सी चीज़ कहाँ हेल्प करे, कौन सी आदत कहाँ हेल्प करे, वी नेवर नो. इनफैक्ट अभी भी ना कई बार ऐसी बातें आती हैं कि 9 to 5 का जॉब है, तो 9 to 5 ही करेंगे ना, 7 o'clock तक क्यों रोका हुआ है रिपोर्ट्स बनाने के लिए. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट करो स्टूडेंट्स को कि कई बार स्ट्रेच करना पड़ता है, तो व्हाट.
See, it's all about what you want to, how far you want to go in life. So I'm not saying 70-hour 90-hour work week, वो सब मैं नहीं बोलूँगी. It is not required in most cases. In certain scenarios, when there is like a very strong deadline, or if you are very important to make that happen, there are a few core members who need to work a little harder, stretch a little more, and if you are part of that core team as well, you would be required to do that. Once in a while, I think it's fine. It shouldn't become that big of a deal. But eventually, if it starts taking a toll on your mental well-being, or it starts taking a toll on your physical well-being as well, that is when you need to start thinking, how do I manage this better? But I think it's all part of business, right? So day-to-day business, there are days in which there is a deadline. You have to kind of stretch at that point of time. And in the corporate journey, I've seen that whatever extra mile you put in, eventually it will come back to you as a reward. If not in your current role, maybe in your next role. If not with your current manager, maybe with your next manager. But in most cases, it comes back as a reward in your current situation. So if I take AdvantageClub.ai, for example, we have maybe there are 20 odd or 30 odd people who are very, very core in the system. out of maybe 300 people, right? Now, those 20, 30 people, they work incredibly hard, and they have had crazy growth over the amount of years they have spent, right? Growth they would have not seen anywhere else, maybe if they were working in a very, very large organization where there are nobody, because then they matter in the system. So your financial growth plus your general growth in terms of designation or power, plus you also hold a lot of decision making things in a very early age in your life. It all comes from the result of hard work, and I don't think there's any substitute to hard work eventually. But I also feel that it shouldn't be so bad for you that it starts taking a toll on your mental
Yeah.
health. But resilience is important in life.
Mhm.
Going a little extra mile is important in life to be very, very relevant and indispensable in the system.
So true. Very well said.
Yeah.
सो अभी आप लोगों के ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में डेफिनेटली आप फ्रेशर्स हायर करते होगे ना तो उसमें फ्रेशर्स में बेसिकली आप लोग का बीटेक का हायरिंग ज़्यादा होता है एमबीए का व्हाट इज़ द कॉम्बिनेशन दैट यू
So we're agnostic, honestly. Most of my organization is comprised of young people.
ओके
Young kids, freshers, 1 year, 2 year experience. We have senior management as well, but we truly believe in hiring young folks. The reason we love hiring freshers is because, one, it's a clean slate. So they don't come with a lot of previous corporate baggage. If they were in a maybe company where there was bad culture or it didn't sync with us, they don't have to switch the way they used to operate versus how they operate now. So clean slates are good because then they adapt to our culture. And second, young kids, they're very energetic, especially if they're hungry to do more. That becomes a very good factor to work in a startup, because for in a very short period of time you can make a lot of impact, you can grow a lot as well. So not just technology, we hire management, we hire all areas, client management, finance. Finance we need like at least a year of experience, because then it's like real money you're dealing with, but not a lot. Typically, if you know what you're doing, then we don't have a lot of bias in against hiring freshers. We do a lot of fresher hiring.
awesome. So specifically, if you talk about the skill set, energy तो आपने बताए, which is very much felt.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy of the person. So other than that, what all skills that you look for in any student that you hire?
Yeah. So one is, of course, the hard skills which are needed for any type of job, right? If they're a coder, then they need to know whatever
Yes.
tech stack we are using.
Yes.
If not, I think tech stack is something people can learn on their own. You can do courses and you can learn another language. If you know how to code in one language, then you can definitely code in another. All you need to do is take some courses and you're good. But analytical thinking is something which doesn't come very naturally unless you think in that direction. So logical, analytical thinking becomes important. The willingness to learn more languages or learn the tech stack matching with what the company you're joining becomes important. Third is more around soft skills for non-technology folks, where you have client-facing roles. Then you need to have better comm skills, or you need to be able to communicate with people in a better manner. That becomes important. If you're in finance, then diligence is very, very important. You need to be a very diligent person. No scope for error ever. We have folks in finance who are so good. They are obsessed with excellence. Like, you cannot find a single mistake in their spreadsheet. If you find a mistake in their spreadsheet, they will lose sleep over the fact that आपने मेरी spreadsheet में गलती कैसे निकल गई. So finance has those kind of I think skill sets. And if you're with a client-facing role, then customer obsession becomes important. You are obsessed with excellence, giving a great experience to the customer. Those are soft skills beyond the hard skills which are needed to do your job.
राइट और जिससे हम लोग अपने टाइम के स्किल सेट्स की बात करें या इनफैक्ट हायरिंग कैसे होती थी उन दिनों में और आज में देयर इज अ डिफरेंस ना लॉट ऑफ HR टेक इंटरवेंशन इज देयर सो व्हाट ऑल एग्जैक्टली हैज हैपेंड और इवॉल्व्ड ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम हाउ हायरिंग इज हैपनिंग नाउ एंड व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ इफ देयर इज एनी सॉफ्टवेयर इन्वॉल्व आल्सो in selecting or
So
rejecting.
hiring is changing every day, and I
Yeah.
think there are so many AI tools now available. hiring in the future, first rounds are going to be replaced by technology. So wo hoga, you will eventually have your first rounds through hiring bots or AI tools who will analyze your resumes, who will analyze your even your facial expressions or videos or recordings or whatever you send them. And there's going to be benchmarking against certain industry standards. So it's going to completely change. Second, it will become less human centric as well. So हर इंसान का एक quirk होता है, एक bias होता है, जिससे कभी कभी eligible people also get rejected. Through technology वो biases हट जाएंगे, I feel. But उससे उल्टा भी हो जाएगा. अब if you are used to copying pasting resumes from your friends, तो plagiarism दिख जाएगा. You'll be able to see, identify those things that okay, ये सारे 10 resume एक दूसरे के copy paste हैं. There is nothing new. There is no, and we've seen that in so many even university students, right? There have been universities जहाँ पे it's encouraged that ये standard format है, बस इसमें copy paste कर दो, and then all resumes are like copy paste of each other. So ये सारी चीज़ें harder हो जाएंगी. So there will need to be authenticity when you are presenting yourself as a candidate for an organization. Your resume needs to be original. Your work experience needs to be authentic. If you've done internships, you have to be more specific around what you've done, what's the impact you've gotten, because with technology there'll be no bias, and then everything will be clear cut with everybody else. So it's gonna get I think more authentic people will start getting more opportunities, and people who are just copying pasting will have to up their game.
Right. So that means they need to be very much aware about what's going on. So thanks for this insight as well. So Smriti, जैसे tier 2, tier 3 cities की बात करें, like मैं खुद बहुत छोटे शहर से आई हूँ. I am from बिजनौर. वहाँ पे ना उतना उन दिनों एक्सपोजर नहीं था जब हम लोग पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, तो ना हमारे पास प्रॉपर इन्फॉर्मेशन होती थी, उतनी मेंटोरशिप भी नहीं होती थी, अपने चैलेंजेस थे. अब इन दिस डेटा ड्रिवन वर्ल्ड, डेफिनेटली डिजिटल वर्ल्ड, आई वुड से कि अभी इन्फॉर्मेशन तो है, स्टिल देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ गैप इफ़ वी कंपेयर सिटी टियर 2, 3 एंड द मेट्रो सिटीज़. अगर थोड़ा सा एडवाइस आप वहाँ दे पाओ जहाँ पे हमें इट कुड बी अ गाइडेंस टू द स्टूडेंट्स who are in those cities, that how can they stand out in the corporate world?
पहले तो मैं शुरुआत इससे करना चाहूँगी कि माई एक्सपीरियंस विद स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम टियर 2, टियर 3 सिटीज़ हैज़ बीन फिनोमिनल. और ये सिर्फ मेरा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, मैं बहुत मतलब वी आर इन द HR टेक इंडस्ट्री, तो मैं बहुत HRs के साथ इंटरेक्ट करती हूँ, एंड this is a universal thing which I get from the HR industry कि tier 2, tier 3 students में इतना potential है, और it is such a great place to hire from, primarily because one, they're very hungry for growth. सेकेंड, टियर 1 में ना थोड़ा प्रिविलेज आ जाता है. जैसे मैं टियर 1 से थी, तो मुझे पता है कि बॉम्बे में रह के प्रिविलेज था कि हाँ जॉब लग जाती हैं, ये है वो है. बट सौरभ टियर 2 से था, ही वॉज फ्रॉम डिब्रूगढ़, तो सौरभ के अंदर कभी वो प्रिविलेज नहीं था. एंड आई हैव सीन दैट डिफरेंस व्हेन बिकॉज आई लिव विद हिम, आई वर्कड विद हिम. सो इवन शुरू से दैट हंगर टू ग्रो इज़ अ लिटिल हायर. आई एम नॉट सेइंग टियर 1 में नहीं होता है, टियर 1 में भी होता है, बट यू विल फाइंड अ हायर परसेंटेज ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम टियर 2, टियर 3 who are more hungry to grow than the tier 1s, because एक थोड़ा सा ease of access रहता है tier 1 में, जो tier 2, tier 3 में नहीं होता. Another thing I've seen with tier 2, tier 3 is they are very they're very stable. तो वो स्टिक अराउंड भी ज़्यादा करते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में, इतने हॉप नहीं करते. सो विच इज़ वाई देयर इज़ अ नेचुरल बायस जो अब बन रहा है, थोड़ा थोड़ा एक साइकोलॉजिकल बायस बन रहा है कि टियर 2, टियर 3 से हमें और हायरिंग करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज वी हैव ग्रेट टैलेंट देयर जो अनटैप्ड है मार्केट में, एंड वी जस्ट नॉट रिकग्नाइजिंग दैम. What the students can do in that case to become more visible is one, from a hard skills standpoint, upskill करना important है. तो identify आपको क्या करना है, किस role में job करना है, and then उसके लिए certifications या courses वो करके आप अपने आप को upskill कर लो, so that your resume is picture perfect and people really want those skills from you. Second, in terms of soft skills, तो कॉम स्किल्स थोड़ा सा बेटर करना ज़रूरी होता है. टियर 2 टियर 3 में आज भी थोड़े चैलेंजेस हैं कम्युनिकेशन से रिलेटेड, नॉट विद एवरीबडी बट विद अ लॉट ऑफ
नहीं थे
स्टूडेंट्स.
बिल्कुल,
वो
हाँ,
है, मतलब
हम
आपको
ग्रामर
देख
में
के नहीं लगता है बट यू हैव रियली रियली अपस्किल्ड
वो
योरसेल्फ.
डिडंट एंड डोंट का इतना कंफ्यूजन होता था.
हाँ, एंड इट्स नॉट देयर फॉल्ट,
हाँ
इट्स जस्ट
जी.
दैट बिकॉज वो आपके एनवायरनमेंट में ही थोड़ा कॉम स्किल्स का गैप रहता है, तो आप धीरे
राइट.
धीरे कॉम स्किल्स का गैप आपको खुद ही फिगर
हाँ
आउट करना
जी.
पड़ता है, स्पेशली इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन क्लाइंट फेसिंग रोल्स जहाँ थोड़ा सा जजमेंट हो जाता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ कॉम स्किल्स. इट बिकम्स एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पीस टू वर्क ऑन. Even confidence levels, like how confident you are in talking to people, how much, अब जैसे tier 1 में colleges में almost everybody gets exposure to do extracurriculars, or and when I talk to a lot of tier 2 tier 3 colleges, वहाँ काफ़ी colleges में extracurriculars होते ही नहीं हैं, fests ही नहीं होते, तो
बिल्कुल.
आप पार्टिसिपेट ही नहीं करोगे तो आप में वो सॉफ्ट स्किल्स बनेंगी कैसे कि आप ऑर्गेनाइज कैसे करते हो, स्पॉन्सरशिप्स कैसे लाते हो. तो जितना आप इन चीज़ों में इन्वॉल्व हो पाओ, इट विल बिल्ड योर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स एज वेल, एंड upskilling is extremely important. There's another thing I've seen nowadays is that degree is becoming less relevant than what you know as a person. So specialized hiring बहुत normalize हो रही है अब, कि ठीक है, somebody might not have a master's but they might have a specialized course which you are looking for exactly in a job, then you would prefer that student than maybe somebody who has a master's, because इसकी specialization is what you need in your role.
Yeah.
You don't care about that degree as an organization. वो आपके क्या काम आएगी जब आप उसको specialized काम ही नहीं आता. तो what you want to do, the more courses you can do around it, the more you can upskill, the more certifications you can get, will definitely help you in landing the right role.
And the online courses also have the acceptability.
Absolutely,
Okay.
बिल्कुल है. ऐसा आज के दिन तो कोई मे बी 10 साल पहले होता था कि ऑनलाइन कोर्स किया है तो इट्स नॉट द सेम एज ऑफलाइन.
True.
अब तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. अब तो इट्स मोर लाइक if you're certified, if you know something, then it becomes an add-on to, as a bonus to your resume, in terms of getting hired for a role. अपने ऑनलाइन क्या है, ऑफलाइन क्या है, आपको आता है, as long as आपको आता है and you can demonstrate that in an interview कि आपको ये skill आती है, doesn't matter आपने ऑनलाइन किया है, ऑफलाइन किया है, या कोई स्पेशलाइज्ड कोर्स किया है, या स्कूल से किया है, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता.
और आपने जैसे थॉट रखा ना स्टेबिलिटी का, ग्राउंडेडनेस का, ये इट रेजोनेट्स अ लॉट विद लॉट ऑफ अदर एचआरस आल्सो व्हेन वी हैव स्पोकन टू. So they have specifically mentioned about these traits. I think these are the advantages of being there.
Yeah.
Smriti, like you wear many hats. You are a co-founder. You are actively working in the business side also of Advantage Club. You're a mother of a newly born. How are you managing everything so well?
So the first and foremost thing I do is I delegate a lot. So delegation again naturally is not part of my nature. I am always that person who used to be like, छोड़ो ना, मैं खुद ही कर लेती हूँ. Why do I have to ask somebody else to do it for me? With time, I've learned that skill, how to delegate better. And I primarily at work, I have really amazing leaders who I've hired or I've trained to become leaders over time, who take care of things when I'm not there, or I'm not able to do it all. And one of the things I've realized and recognized very early on is आप सब कुछ खुद नहीं कर सकते. आप वो सुपर वुमन नहीं हो, आप सुपर ह्यूमन नहीं हो. You need some downtime, you need time to sleep, you need time to eat, you need time to also maybe entertain yourself a little bit for your mental well-being as well. So the more you can divide and conquer, the easier it gets for you over time. At home also, I invest in help wherever I need to. I hire professional help, like I have a nanny who takes care of my baby when I'm not at home. So I've been able to kind of through the power of delegation, I've been able to build these different time management structures for myself, and I manage my time very well. So I use my calendar for everything, personal, professional. छोटे से छोटा reminder भी मेरे calendar पे होता है. So I try to manage it as much as I can. Eventually also I try to try that I don't get into a burnout situation. So whenever I can, I take a day off during weekends. I go out, we'll watch movies, or we'll go for a comedy show, or maybe we'll go for a concert. Sometimes we'll take a trip during the weekend. So I do try to balance it all out by ensuring that I'm able to give equal preference to each part of my life.
Awesome and inspiring. Lot of support system and delegation, I think. These
Yeah,
are
it
very
takes
good
a village.
takeaways.
It really takes a village. So
Yeah. Being a woman entrepreneur and that too in the tech space जहाँ पे बात होती है कि आज भी हम girls को encourage करें to take STEM learning and technology के साथ you have to be friends with. Lot has changed but still lot to be changed. आपकी journey I'm sure उसमें challenges रहे होंगे. Could you just talk about a bit more about them?
Sure. So, first, let me talk about girls learning STEM in general.
Yeah.
One of the things I've seen with women is that you would have noticed that if you think back in your school days and if you think of the topper in your school, mostly it would be a girl. Now go to college. Girls के topper percentage 50% हो जाएगा. Now go to the corporate world. Leaders, people at the top of their space, hardly 10-20% would be women. Why does that happen? अगर वो स्कूल टॉपर है बचपन में तो वो बाद में बॉस क्यों नहीं बन रही है? So there is a definite dropout which happens in people's life stages. स्कूल तक तो बहुत encourage करते हैं लड़कियों को पढ़ने के लिए और फिर उसके बाद after they hit a certain age then it's all about okay इनकी शादी करानी है and then it's like you have a kid and you want to focus more on your personal life and professional career takes a backlog. And that is where all of that drop off happens and it happens very naturally. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोई ज़बरदस्ती घर पे बंद करके रख रहा है. Just societal expectations ही ऐसी होती है कि धीरे 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 बहुत सारे ड्रॉप ऑफ्स हो जाते हैं. It also comes from a fact that I think women also eventually need to take breaks in their life. And coming back from that break becomes hard for them, or they're not able to give their full selves once they're back from the breaks. And breaks are okay. You should take a break. Take a 3-year break if you need to in a career span of 30 years. 3 years doesn't make any difference. Lekin coming back is also very important. Prioritizing career is also very important. And technology mein yahi hua hai with time. Like, अब तो things are changing and we're seeing more and more women getting in the technology space. But पहले नहीं था. So, when I was in computer science, maybe bachelor's, there were very few women, very few girls in the college. UCLA mein number of girls reduced even further who were from India, who was doing a master's. And same thing happened when I went in a full-time role. The number of girls reduced even further. And starting an entrepreneurship back then, like 10-11 years ago, तो hardly women entrepreneurs हुआ करते थे. So it was hard for everybody to accept women leadership. Yeah. And one of the things I've realized is women need to, and it is a fact, जो fact आप world को अपने change नहीं कर सकते. You have to adapt to the world around yourself. So it is a fact that women leadership is not very acceptable in a very easy manner as much as a man is accepted as a leader. So, and me and my co-founder Saurabh were husband and wife. For a very long time, it was hard for me to understand that people would perceive me as the CEO's wife and not as the co-founder of AdvantageClub.ai. So when we used to, and second was कि I'm a person by a technology background. So मुझे आई डोंट कोड बट मुझे कोडिंग आती है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मुझे डेवलपमेंट नहीं आती. अगर मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं आती तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट मुझे हायर नहीं करता. वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट कंपनीज इन द वर्ल्ड वुड नॉट हायर मी. दे नॉट स्टूपिड, दे नॉट डूइंग चैरिटी. सो व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड देयर वुड बी अ नेचुरल बायस ऑफ पीपल वुड हायर इन टेक्नोलॉजी टू एक्सेप्ट सौरभ एज द standardized leader, right? And then you're just Saurabh's wife. So that is something I felt initially when we started, and people would not take my technology expertise seriously. And then once it happened that I think Saurabh was traveling or something, fundraising, and he had to travel for something. And I was in the office in very early days. Something broke and there was some major challenge which was happening from a tech perspective. होता है startups में things keep breaking initially. So everyone went in a panic mode. Saurabh was in a flight. He was not available for the next 3 hours and we need to fix it immediately. So I went and I gave them the solution to fix it. and they were staring at my face as if this was a shocker to them, right?
Okay.
But that changed everything. Uske baad they started coming to me whenever Saurabh was not there. If he's in a meeting, they'll come to me for advice. So I think you have to prove yourself once. As a man, you might not have to do that. As a woman, you have to prove yourself. और ये सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है. मैं सेल्स हेड करती थी. सेल्स में लोग आते थे, उनको लगता था इसको सेल्स नहीं आती. So there were people who would join and they'd be like, okay, she doesn't know how to sell. So what I started doing is, even though it was my domain, even though they were being hired under me, every time a new person would join, अब मुझे वो नहीं करना पड़ता, but तब मुझे करना पड़ता था. Every time a new person would join, it was mandatory for them to attend a meeting with me. वो मैंडेट कर दिया था मैंने. इट वॉज पार्ट ऑफ देयर ओरिएंटेशन कि एक मीटिंग आप स्मिति के साथ अटेंड करोगे, उसके बाद उनका परसेप्शन चेंज हो जाता था. बिकॉज माई कन्वर्जन रेट इज क्रेजी. आई barely never convert, touch wood, but मेरा conversion rate बहुत high है. So they would then see me in action and then they would start accepting me as a natural leader. अब I could cry about it कि मेरे को bias हो रहा है, or I could do something about it. You can't change perceptions of people. You have to navigate those challenges, prove yourself, and then they'll accept you as a leader. अब life काफ़ी change हो गई है. I think for new entrepreneurs also, women wouldn't face those kind of challenges. Like when you go to a client, people will not come and tell you, I'm surprised that as a woman you are a founder and that you're a technology founder. ये सब statements अब सुनने नहीं मिलती. But 10-11 साल पहले ये था. I've navigated around it, but it has been a learning experience that if you feel people are not accepting you naturally, then prove it to them, and then just they will start accepting it.
I think हाँ वो gradually है जो ingrain होगा ना minds में that this is something we need to respect.
Correct.
Because the content and the richness of the content is coming from the person.
Correct.
जो भी आप, whether you are male or a female, it's the
Correct.
content. Yeah.
And आपको सब कुछ करना ही पड़ता है eventually, and to kind of be to be able to prove to people that you can lead them, you have to show that you know what they're doing. It also helps you in the fact that people will not be able to tell you stuff which is just not right. आपको बेवकूफ़ नहीं बना पाएगा कोई, क्योंकि आपको आके वो बोलेगा कि इसमें आप 4 घंटे लगेंगे जबकि वो 5 मिनट का काम हो, तो आपको पता है क्योंकि आपने अपने हाथों से किया हुआ है. तो दैट ऑल्सो मेक्स अ बिग डिफरेंस.
या एंड आई थिंक ये तो एडवाइस सभी के लिए एप्लीकेबल है ना. जब हम कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसी को डेलीगेट कर रहे हैं, हमें एटलीस्ट आइडिया तो हो कि वो काम क्या है,
हमें वो आना चाहिए.
हाँ जी, दैट्स वेरी गुड एडवाइस एंड आई थिंक ये इट्स अ सोर्स ऑफ इंस्पिरेशन फॉर मेनी गर्ल्स हु आर लिसनिंग टू अस टुडे. सो नाउ इफ यू टॉक अबाउट, you have 16 plus years of experience. In these 16 years, you must have learned many lessons. Just talk about few of them that are still ingrained in your heart and you are continuing to follow them.
I think पहला तो I'll again talk about what I spoke about, कि respect the job you're doing. मतलब ये मैं truly believe करती हूँ. और even as an entrepreneur, me and Saurabh have a kind of rule. We will not badmouth our clients. कोई कितना भी आपको गुस्से से बात कर रहा हो, कोई कितना भी आपके सामने attitude throw कर रहा हो, they are the ones who are paying you and they are the ones because of which your business is running. So I just feel that respect the role you're doing. Otherwise, the more bitter you start becoming towards people, the harder it becomes for you to do your job, because life is not easy. You're going to face challenges every day. You could either cry about those challenges and then keep facing more challenges in the future, or you could do something about it and move on to the next one. So it's very important to be respectful of what you're doing. Otherwise, don't do it. If you really hate where you're working so much that you're bad-mouthing them every day, don't work there. But if you're working there, don't bad-mouth them, because the universe gives back to you what you give to the universe. आप जितना negativity अपने सर में डालोगे, आपके लिए उतना hard होता जाएगा वो काम करना. So that's one major learning I've had over time, जो बहुत subconsciously लोग करते हैं but realize नहीं करते कि it's making them more and more bitter and harder to work with as well. That's one. Second would be respect people's times. तो बहुत early when I started at Vantage Club, I remember हम उस टाइम Max Hospitals के साथ tie up कर रहे थे. The person who was leading marketing at that time, she's no longer in that company. I think she moved out, but she was heading the whole piece. So I was trying to partner with them at that time. So I called her, random cold calls तो तब मैं ही करती थी. So I called her, she said call me at a specific time, I think 3:30 or something. I called her at 3:40 and she got angry. She said, I told you to call me at 3:30. It's 3:40. She said, I only had 10 minutes. I am going into a meeting in 5 minutes. I don't have time to talk to you now. So I somehow tried to convince her, and then she gave me another time, and then I was 5 minutes before that time uske baad se. But that was a very early learning for me. Eventually we partnered with them and everything went fine. We still partnered with them after so many years. The most successful people in the world are also one of the most humble people in the world. There are people who've been very successful and they've not been humble, और उनको अब सोसाइटी लात मार रही है. मैं नाम नहीं लूँगी, बट आपके दिमाग में 2-3 होंगे जो बहुत सक्सेसफुल हैं इस दुनिया में, बट बहुत ज़्यादा उन्होंने सोशल मीडिया पे हंगामा मचा दिया था, एंड nobody likes them and now their businesses are going down. So it is important to continue to be humble wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Nobody likes an oversmart person trying to put you down. Everybody likes people who try to pull you up, which is why Ratan Tata is so famous and everybody respects him, because he's never disrespected anybody his entire life, even though he's completely entitled to do that. So that has been my third learning in the past few years.
Wow. तो कभी ऐसा आया नहीं कि I am the founder, मतलब ठीक है थोड़ा attitude ऐसे कोई
जब भी आता है ना लात पड़ जाती है, तो अपने आप I think my destiny doesn't let me get that attitude in general. जल्दी सीख मिल जाती है कि बाद में ना पड़े, तो पहले ही आपको सीख मिल जाती है.
वंडरफुल, मतलब बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और बहुत मज़ा आया आपकी से जो भी आपने बातें करी, और इंस्पिरेशन बहुत है हर एक चीज़ में ना. मतलब आप जो एपिसोड जो बातें आप हमें लेते गए, अपनी जर्नी बताते गए, आई वॉज एक्चुअली विजुअलाइजिंग, हाँ ऐसा ऐसा होता था, ऐसे ऐसे गलतियाँ करी एंड हाउ वी कैन इम्प्रूव दैट. So we had a wonderful talk today, Smriti. One success mantra that you can share with our audience today.
So I will share one success mantra and one mantra to not fail. Because सबको succeed नहीं करना होता, कुछ लोग को बस fail नहीं करना होता. So success mantra, अगर आपको really life में succeed करना है, तो you need to be indispensable. जहाँ भी, wherever you are, you need to be indispensable as a person. Eventually life में सब replaceable है. I am replaceable in Vantage Club, everybody is replaceable, but I am indispensable today. Your contribution in whatever you are doing should be so high that आपको remove करने में इतना pain हो कि आपको कोई remove ना कर पाए. So indispensability is very important, whether you are a business, whether you are an employee, even in relationships. For example, if you want to maintain your marriage, you have to be indispensable in that person's life. Otherwise, आजकल तो डिवोर्स रेट वैसे ही हाई हो गया है. तो लाइफ में आप जो भी करो, अगर आपको सक्सीड करना है तो आपको इंडिस्पेंसिबल होना पड़ेगा. अब सक्सीड नहीं करना कोई बात नहीं, एवरेज रहना है, फेलियर नहीं करना, दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. इफ यू वांट टू अवॉइड फेलिंग इन लाइफ, यू शुड नेवर एवर 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 बी इन द बॉटम 10% ऑफ एनीथिंग. इतने सारे ले ऑफ्स हो रहे हैं, मार्केट इतना अनसर्टेन है, पीपल आर अफ्रेड कि हमारा क्या होगा. जस्ट थिंक, क्या आप बॉटम 10% में हो? अगर हो तो आप निकाल दिए जाओगे, अगर आप नहीं हो तो आप सेफ हो. तो टू नॉट फेल, नेवर बी इन द बॉटम 10%, बट इफ यू वांट टू बी इन द टॉप 10%, यू हैव टू बी इंडिस्पेंसिबल.
वाओ, ऑसम. अब आपने सब दोनों अप्रोचेस दे दी,
डिपेंडिंग अपॉन सबको फर्स्ट नहीं आना होता ना. कुछ लोग को अपनी लाइफ शांति से जीनी होती है, तो उसमें आपको सेकंड अप्रोच फॉलो करनी चाहिए.
वाओ, दिस इज सो गुड. आई थिंक अब आगे भी हमें ये पूछना चाहिए कि वन सक्सेस मंत्र एंड वन नॉट टू फेल मंत्र. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. It was such a wonderful experience for me in person to speak to you and discuss about so many aspects, Smriti. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Entrepreneurship हो या 9 to 5 की hustle, it is the journey that matters the most. I'm sure you must have enjoyed today's episode like I did. So my budding students out there, don't forget to share this episode with your friends. ऐसी और भी इंस्पायरिंग बातों के लिए do subscribe to our channel Leaders Lounge by GLA University, Greater Noida, wherein learning happens when we listen to leaders.